project A, B, and C. A, for example, wanting 15 million. B, for example, wanting 3 million. C, for example, wanting, say, 4 million. Call these 5 million like that. So you add these three. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 4, we are talking of 12. So there is no way we'll be able to implement the three competing projects simultaneously, given that our capital, which is available, is 10 million. So then we need to plan. We need to analyze the viability of these projects so that we get to select like 2 projects, which will be the most profitable, which will be the most viable, that we can do what here we can afford. So basically, as Raymond told us, this concept of capital budgeting is a process of decision making, getting to choose between these three projects I mean here, which ones will be the most profitable that will be able to fit within the capital that we have here, Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know in section 3, most of you dealt with capital budgeting techniques. Who is able to remember these capital budgeting techniques more so? Those techniques that are geared towards assessment of viability of the projects. Who is able to remember any two? Methods of assessing the viability of projects. Who is able to remember any? Sorry for disturbing you a little bit. You know, I have to make this thing engaging. And also I use these at least to gauge you, to be able to see how many of us came from universities and were exempted from doing a FEM of section 3. So the capital budgeting techniques, what do we have there?
I want to say the
IRR, internal rate of return. I like that. Internal rate of return is one of the key tools of capital planning and budgeting.
Majority 30% NPV.
Net present value, NPV. Remember, the higher the NPV, the better a project is. Thank you very much. I can remind you one, payback period. So if, for example, you invest like 10 million in a project, and we have got, so if, for example, we have got this capital of 10 million, if we have the capital of 10 million here, and in these 10 million, ladies and gentlemen, somebody tells us to go for 2 projects. We have A, which will be able to pay us back. A will be able to pay us back, say, within 3 years. We have recovered, we have recouped all our capital investment. And then we have B, which will take 5 years to pay us back all our investment. So in terms of payback period, if the 2 projects, of course, we can afford to buy, or rather to, we can't afford them with the 10 million, we can only afford one. If you're told that you can only afford one, A or B, on the basis of payback period, which project will you go for? On the basis of payback period, which project will you go for? So somebody has told you 10 million. You want project A, you want project B, but you can't afford both. So you've gone ahead to analyze, to do the appraisals, and you've decided here to calculate their payback periods. Where A, you realized A will take you 3 years, payback period of 3 years. B, payback period is 5 years. So which one is better between the two? Most of them are saying A, yes, because the shorter the payback, the better off we are. Remember, risk increases with time. The more the time, the bigger the payback period is, the more uncertain things will crop in between here. So if you can get a project that you are able to invest in and the payback is like almost there and then that project is the best. The shorter the payback period,